The first thing I like to do when trying to talk about a product, which is what this is all about, is really very crisply and clearly identify the problem. So the problem is that today in the world of Web3 and NFTs, the existing solutions for digital art collectibles are broken. Uh, Question is why, how, what's broken about it? Well, let's explore. So the first problem is that there is no creator or artwork verification. It is a free for all. Anyone can post an NFT, put any price on it, someone can come and buy it. There is no way to verify if the artwork that was posted as an NFT was in fact created by the creator. There is no way to verify that the artwork is in fact an original. It was not copied from somewhere. There's no way to know if the creator is a genuine person as they claim to be in their profile, or if they're a scammer or a team of scammers. All these problems exist, and there is no solution to it in sight. Second problem, right now, artists have no mechanism by which they can communicate the licensing or their royalty requirements for the artworks that they put on chain. There isn't any mechanism. The existing standards of ERC 721 and ERC 1155 literally just assume that you're going to have a token, it has an ID, and everything else is stored off-chain, typically on durable storage like IPFS or Arweave or something, but there is no standard around it. So it's anyone can do anything they want, and there isn't any way to enforce licensing. There are some standards being developed for around royalties, around secondary sales, etc., but it still isn't there at the point where you would call it mature or workable even. Problem number three, the media assets associated with NFTs or digital art collectibles today are off-chain, and the only thing you have in the contract is a link to that off-chain entity. An artist can post-sale change that. So you might buy a glorious piece of art, but the artist can go in anytime and change that URL and point it to some meme or whatever they want. It doesn't really matter. It's also possible for that to be easily forged. So it's not exactly very confidence-inspiring when you pay maybe thousands of dollars for an artwork and you cannot have any assurance that that artwork is in fact authentic and that artwork that is linked will not be changed. So that's a big problem. Next one. This continues to plague not just digital art collectibles, but crypto and Web3 as a whole. The user experience is really, really poor, especially for buyers. The ways that the marketplaces allow buyers and artists to interact is quite weak. I mean, you can have a set price, you can have an auction, you can have reserves, etc. But there's no consistency among all the marketplaces. Some offer some features, some don't offer some features. And at the end of the day, it's buyer beware on whatever is going on there. And it's not exactly conducive to attracting more buyers to the ecosystem. And the proof is right there in the data. The number of new buyers entering the ecosystem is shrinking. And that not all of that can be attributed to the market being down. User experience or poor user experience plays a big part in it. The next one is there is absolutely no support or compliance around standards. There exist well-defined, well-researched, and well-adopted standards in the world of artworks, in the world of music, in the world of film, etc. But these are absent. They're nowhere to be seen. There's not even a whiff of them anywhere in the current standards. So this is a problem. What this has resulted in is that traditional artists and art organizations, a large majority of them who are still not in Web3, they don't trust and they don't see any benefits to embracing Web3. That's a fact. That is indisputable. You can ask a majority of traditional artists who are not yet in the space, and they'll essentially just call it, like a plaything or a poo-poo it, essentially. They don't take it very seriously. And they have good reason for it because of the problems I just talked about, right? So we are on a journey to fix that. It's a very, very big task. It's a monumentally large task. It's also a very complex task. But I believe we have the vision, the drive, the community, and the resources to execute and make this happen. Now, in my presentation here today, I'm going to talk about how we're going to make that happen. And I know a large part of the community right now comes at it from the crypto perspective. You're thinking more in terms of the coin and the price and the listing and all those kind of things. But let me just tell you one thing and be very, very clear about it. We can aspire to think about any kind of price, etc., for the token, any kind of coin, but that doesn't mean it will manifest itself. The only way it's going to manifest and have staying power, sustainable, where it doesn't just go down to zero, is if we build something of value. We absolutely must create something that is valuable to the world, because then that translates into value for the token. So indirectly, as I'm talking about all this, in your mind, you should translate that into how can this be valuable to the world, which then translates into value for the token. So indirectly, the concerns, the needs you have to make sure that your investment, you get a return on it, is fulfilled. So this is the only path to it. I know no other path to creating a project that has a successful sort of token, because if there isn't anything of value, there's no reason that the world, the investors, etc., look at that token and go and say, "Oh yeah, this is I'm going to pay for this, pay a high amount for this." It's not going to happen. So this is why it's very important that we go through this exercise, we go through this detail, and really identify how we're going to do this and create significant value.